Drastic measures tonight to keep the peace in Ferguson, Missouri, after a teenager was shot and killed by police. A short time ago, Missouri's governor declared a state of emergency in the suburb where the teen was killed. Hundreds rallied once again, calling for justice. But overnight, it was a different scene. Looters ransacked stores, shattering what was a peaceful day of protests. Now the community is under a curfew that runs from midnight to 5 a.m. CBS 2's Steve Langford has the latest on the police shooting protests and the impact across the country.
After an 8th night of civil unrest, Ferguson, Missouri is now officially in a state of emergency. The ripple effect of the shooting of an unarmed teenager reaching far beyond the St. Louis suburb.
We're going to come together and basically, fight this so it doesn't happen to anyone else.
From New York to Missouri, from one grieving family to another, the sister of Eric Garner, the Staten Island man who died in police custody last month, describes her feeling upon hearing 18-year-old Michael Brown had been shot to death by a police officer in Ferguson.
The same reaction I had with my brother, when I found out what happened to my brother. It's sad and ridiculous.
I mean, and we're talking about this like this makes sense for police to be taking people's lives over this kind of stuff.
The Reverend Al Sharpton will be heading to Missouri to lead a rally Sunday with Michael Brown's family. Earlier this week, protests across the country, including a massive march from Union Square to Times Square. The situation further inflamed Friday after police released surveillance video showing a man who looks like Michael Brown allegedly shoplifting at a local convenience store minutes before the deadly confrontation with police.
It's the epitome of an insult to the people of this country that law enforcement would smear a young man before we can even bury him.
Looters sacked that store, stealing or destroying merchandise. Others tried to protect the store from vandals, some standing with their hands up unarmed, some carrying guns.
You don't know who the good guys is or who the bad guys is.
That is no time to calm down. It's no time to shut up.
By Saturday, a rally in Harlem calling for justice for Eric Garner and Michael Brown attracted just a few dozen people. What happened to the rally?
This is the rally.
A tiny turnout as well for a planned rally here in Union Square, 1 week ahead of an expected mass march in Staten Island where this all began. In Lower Manhattan, Steve Langford, CBS 2 News.
The officer who killed Brown, 28-year-old Darren Wilson, is on paid administrative leave. The Missouri Highway Patrol is now in charge of city security.